was walking up the stairs and there was this big bug on the floor. And I was like, what is that? And I got a closer look. And this is what I found. Do you know what that is? It's a cockroach. Yeah. We have to keep our apartment pretty clean so that the cockroaches don't get in, because they're all over and they live in the jungle. Just like this story I have for you. Crickwing by Janelle Cannon. Far below the great forest canopy lies a shadowy world that many insects call home. Among the damp clutter of fallen leaves and branches, leaf-cutting ants toil all day while large cockroaches await their evening search for food. One cockroach had looked like all the others until a close call with a hungry frog. In his wild escape from the frog, sticky tongue, he had twisted one of his fine long wings. Since then, everyone called him Crickwing. Crickwing despised his nickname and he avoided hearing it by staying far away from the other creatures. He would sneak out to find his food when the night was darkest. The forest seemed less fearsome whenever Crickwing found a nice pile of tasty leaves, roots, and petals. He took comfort in their bright colors and interesting shapes. One night, Crickwing created a wonderful sculpture, and he was so absorbed in his work that he didn't hear the footsteps behind him. Pow! Whoosh! A sharp-eyed monkey clobbered Crickwing and swiped his sculpture. Crickwing dived for cover. I only let him get away with that because he's so big, he grumbled, cowering under a rotten log. Look at that monkey. What did he do? He took his sculpture and he ate it. Look at that. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Crickwing hid until the next night, when hunger drove him out to search for a meal. But as soon as he had added a final flower petal to his dinner, an enormous, scaly lizard nearly gulped him down. Crickwing dodged, and the lizard took off with his edible artwork. Another masterpiece ruined, Crickwing panted. I'm starved and my wings ache. I don't know if I can take this much longer. The next night, things got even worse. An ocelot pounced and nearly crushed Crickwing. When he darted away, the ocelot scooped him up with her massive paw and threw him high in the air. Oh, no! Crickwing wailed. Not again! Then he landed. Crickwing scrambled about in a panic and leaped into a crevice under a stone where he collapsed in angry tears. I hate never being. Many hours later, sunlight streamed into his cave and leaf-cutting ants began another busy day. Thousands of tiny workers carried slices of leaves back through the crevice. Ah, these guys are punier than I am, he muttered. None of the ants seemed to notice him. Crickwing inched closer. There's something about these incy creatures that just bugs me. Why can't anyone bother these little twerps? He placed his spiny leg across the leafcutter path. Well, we'll see what happens now, he turtled. Have a nice trip. See you next fall. Several ants stumbled, but then they went back to work as if Crickwing weren't even there. This will get their attention, he growled, picking up a leaf from the path. The ants carrying the leaf hung on tight, which gave Crickwing a dastardly idea. He hung several ants from a vine, one by one. Crickwing laughed so hard that he nearly forgot his aching wing. That night, Crickwing wolfed down a sweet flower bud, not even noticing its dazzling purple color. He had work to do. Right in the middle of the leafcutter trail, he dug a deep hole in the ground. He crouched behind a rock, waiting to see what the ants would do. In the very early dawn, the ants rose as usual and went to work. When they returned, their cargo clamped in their jaws, they could barely see their way. They plummeted into the trap, piling into a great green heap. These muddling molecules are so easy to fool, snorted Crickwing. Back in the leafcutter colony, the queen of the ants called a meeting. This week's production is down, she barked. What on earth is going on? It's a cockroach, your highness, stammered Tara. He's picking on us, said Gravel. No cockroach meddles with our colony. Seize him, ordered the queen. That big oaf showed up just in time for the annual peace offering to the army ants, crowed the queen. There's no way they'll attack us if we hand this hefty no-gooder over to them. Trussle him up like the fat turkey he is and ship him out. The leafcutters bound Crickwing hauled him back through the dim trussels and carried him up into the forest. Look at them carrying him up into the forest. The ants hiked in silence for a long time.
I can't do this, Eartha said at last. Neither can I, said Tara. Remember the giant beetle we brought to the army ants last year? Yeah, they took him apart before we could even turn around and leave, said Gravel. Crickwing gulped. Nobody deserves that. Not even this big bully, said Eartha. I say let him go. He never really hurt any of us. What will we tell the queen? Tara gasped. And what about the army ants? They'll level our
colony. Oh no, what if they level their colony? That would be terrible.
They'll level our colony.
Oh, what should we do? Let's go. The ant released Crickwing, and they ran. Crickwing was stunned. The queen is going to have their heads, and the whole leafcutter colony is now in serious danger, all because of me. Now what?
Now his wing no longer hurt.
Wing no longer hurt? He could think clearly. I have to do something. But what? And then Crickwing had a brilliant idea. He described his plan, and the ants listened carefully. We'll have to move quickly, but if every ant pitches in, I think it'll work, Crickwing said. Can we just say, Yahoo! Do we have much choice? Snapped Tara. The plan is worth a try. We'll do our best to win the patience of the queen, Eartha promised, but we don't have much time. Jump on my back, all of you. So they all jumped on his back, and he was a fast runner. They ran as fast as they could. In a far corner of the forest, in the army ant camp, the lieutenant paced angrily. Those leaf-cutting fools are late, she snarled. If we don't have our peace offering by tomorrow at dawn, we march in and take what's rightfully ours. As the hours passed, the army ants grew more irritated. At first light, the army swarmed from the nest, ready for conquest. No one, shouted the lieutenant. Absolutely no one keeps the army ants waiting. They poured like an angry river down the trail, turned the final bend anthill. As the ferocious they grew, they saw something that stopped them dead in their tracks. For a long, silent moment, they stared at the largest, hugest, strangest, greenest anteater they had ever seen. It loomed high in the sky. Oh my goodness, what is it? What on earth is it? They wondered. It could probably be an anteater. Oh, how scary. How scary, the anteater. Can you see all those ants? They are coming to get the colony of the leafcutter ants.
Isn't that so sad? But they are scared because look, they're looking down on that big army coming towards them, and they have faith that they can win this and that they can have their peace, all because of Crickwing. 3 cheers for Crickwing, shouted Eartha. All the ants joined the cheer, then rushed into the forest. They gathered the brightest flowers and
Wasn't that nice of the little ants? I guess when they tied him onto that board, it fixed his wing, and they weren't even trying to help him. But that helped him. So, how did you like the story? And look, there they are, throwing the confetti. Ants work every day. I don't think they ever take a day off. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this story. It was kind of long, but it had some really pretty pictures. Love you.
Close your eyes for a minute, close your eyes for a second. I won't change my mind. What does getting